focus, you're gonna be able to realize, when you give like every time you get on top, you gotta hit your neck. You gotta, you must. Okay. Don't move. Just too much forward, man. Go in like.
So move forward, but protect the neck. Yeah. I feel like if I stay far away, I'll never pass the push. But if I come in, I get submitted, right? So,
no, but yeah, the problem I think that the best thing we can do is together, because then of the transition in a sense, like maybe it's hard to close guard and maybe just walk it around.
Yeah.
But maybe it's not going to be that hard if you almost sweat and then walk it through.
Yes, sir.
So that's the same thing, you know. Like, we try to attack each other in the transition. Like, for example, I see you want to come forward, try to take me down or put me in on my back, and I realize like there's a move in between where I can take advantage. Before you take me down, I can just block and hit your chin before you establish your guard pass, before you establish like your sweep on the ground. So that's what I think was a big thing already.
okay.
And what do you feel about like
I feel like
what I'm doing different?
Well, I feel like one of the things that you do differently from the other, not just the people that I train, but like the best people that I train, is like you said, it's the attack and the transition. I feel like you're winning a battle before a position happens. And so it's not like, oh, you get the underhook, because when you get the underhook, you'll pass anyway. But it's like you win the control.
A lot of people.
Right, yeah.
You have a blue belt, it's really tough just one move.
If you get in a position, you'll pass.
They get there.
Right. So I feel like you're winning in between, like you say, in between positions. And then sometimes you submit, and other times you just sweep it, but usually you're being nice to me, I know. But like you said, like sweep and boom, submit. So there's more setups and more attacks before I even realize there's danger.
And it's the same thing. It's the same thing that I felt when I make a mistake. I don't make a mistake relax my arm inside of somebody. I just give the just that's what comes on my mind. But in match, I don't relax my arm inside of somebody's butt. And at the same time, when you push my hand inside of the front, you understand?
Right.
Like we make a mistake. Like I did something. I did a lot of mistakes when I compete. You know, so that's what comes right on my mind. You understand? Like
smaller mistakes.
Yeah, those mistakes in between, like the transition. You know? And that's the worst, you know, because that's the ones you don't see. You know?
Yes. I mean, it's just my opinion. I feel like it's not strength or size at all, because like it's not like I try to unhook, you try to unhook.
Yeah.
I don't even have the chance because I'm already stuck before.
We keep that like in and out, you know, like almost getting, and when you see, alright, now I can go.
You go when you know you will be successful.
Or we go when you know we are ahead. Right?
Yes, sir.
Like, alright, if I go now, I'm gonna short face with him, and maybe he's stronger than me, or maybe I'm stronger than him, but it's gonna take a lot of energy from me. So don't go, step back. You know what I mean? So keep waiting to that catch ahead, and that's what we're looking for. That's what we're talking about.
Thank you so much for the development stuff. It's great to train with you.
Oh, it's good training with you. Like, for example, I remember my last Abu Dhabi, I competed against Brawley. I was feel so good, like on top. The same game we played here, I was stepping in and out, in and out, in and out. And for some reason, like he attacked like a foot lock or something like that. And then I was like, alright, I gotta defend the foot lock. I can't let my foot get stuck over that, you know what I mean? Like, and in that time, we got this sweep.
That's the time to attack.
You understand? And another mistake that like I got the sweep. I got this. He got the foot block because he got the sweep because he attacked the foot block. And because I don't want to give the sweep, because I don't want to let him get ahead, he even got like a good guard pass established like that. Not the full guard, but for example like a good underhook pass. And just so when you're already stuck. So that's like those transitions that we should really prepare. It's not about what you try now, but it's about what come after.
What comes
you
after.
understand? So that's what we got if you really conservative.
I'm just. It seems to me like at the top level black belts, it's not about, like you said, it's not about the loose or the underhook, because most everyone does the underhook the right way, and they're all pressure and strong. So it's more how you use your techniques than what techniques you use.
When you reach the position you want, right?
Right. So it's creating the situation. Oh, Marcelo, one other question. Is there anything in particular, like, is there I don't know any defense, is the same guillotine that Leo Vieira submitted me with in Abu Dhabi?
It's the same. I saw the match, I was not able to, I don't watch the fights, the match before when I compete, but I guess, I don't know if I really lost the absolute or something like that.
I think it was the first day. It was the first day.
So everything was done, and I was sitting and I saw. When I saw the guillotine on top of me, I know like it's so hard. I have a lot of times in the school, and it's from the same choke, and I know how tough it is. And I'm like,
do you have to defeat the grip? Like, because I feel like once
when you have the elbow, it's done.
It's done.
It's almost like a block, a rear neck choking, like that's no more move. Even when you pass, probably you feel like it's the same move even when you pass. You know what I mean?
It doesn't matter.
But like we have a thing to defend before. That's why I'll make the mistake. That's why I'm telling me too. We gotta like react before. When you feel the neck on the hand on your neck, we gotta drop the shoulder and the person's chest.
I see.
Before the elbow.
So it's already fine. Yes, sir.
Imagine before you put the elbow.
You take the space.
You
There's
understand
no more
this?
space.
If I wait, put your feet inside. No, both. Push me away. You understand me?
So you have to, not just the shoulder, because I'll undo what you did. So you have to put the shoulder and also take away my...
Close the distance.
Right, and take away.
So that's like the mistake that I did before, and that's the mistake I make the people do. I get that gap before. I don't know how it started the glitching, but when I looked, I was like, it was already different. I was like, man, it's so trapped.
I really thank you so much for that. I wonder how to kind of...
That's the idea, that's the idea. Why I would think before, everything should be covered, and it's like everything, we try everything, we think everything before, but sometimes we got slow, sometimes. You know what I mean?
With a foot lock, you step up.
My idea, right? We never talk about that. But I have like, I'm not those kind of flexible guys who have the foot twisted all this stuff. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. And so my feet is always like protecting. I always like look for protect my feet, like protect my neck. Protect my arm. So I felt like that if I protect my feet, don't let it get stuck in like a heel hook or block or toe hold like that. I avoid the danger of some recourse to get scrambled. I avoid the danger of get 50 feet, and that's what I try to do. I don't know if you feel it works.
No, it works so well, because I feel like even with guys like you guys who are definitely much better than me, I feel like if I get to my position, I can still be successful. But it's like I can never stabilize the position, and before it occurs, you defend it. So
I think it's good way to think ahead. I learned this, not this move, but I learned one thing because my opponents, for example, it's been a long time I've been doing stuff like that. In Brazil, we start to have those kind of super fights not that long ago. But I'm glad I become a black belt, brown belt. In that time when it started more super fights in Brazil. So a lot of the time I got in some super fights and I realized my opponents really want to defend my move. They really want to find a way to escape on my move. For a long time, people know Marcelo do the down threat, Marcelo do that. pass, stuff like that. So I saw so many time my opponents like let me get in the move to they start to defend. And then I just realized like, alright, he let me get in here. And he's doing something different, he's doing something here what I'm not used to. But I always realize like, yeah, but I can just like arrange myself.
It's already in your position.
Yeah, so I kind of know my moves so much, so it never works with people who let me get in the move. That's when I realize like, alright, so I prefer to don't get in the person's move just to see what happens. You understand?
Yes.
Especially like competition or something like that. And that's the way I realize like I don't know, guys like doing 50 because maybe you do so good and I don't wanna like have to try that. And I believe like most of the techniques work like that. Like, don't turn back to somebody who you know he has a good choke, like, that's how I feel.
Makes perfect sense. Again, it's the same defense to every scenario, every technique, because you control the distance and you don't allow me to establish any position. And it doesn't matter what attack I try, you control and you only enter to attack when you have the advantage that you want.
But this is what makes you grow into, because now you're not gonna be able to show me. You're gonna have to like treat me in a different way to be able to reach lower on my leg.
Yes, sir.
You're gonna have to like danger my arm or something like that, and then you can.
I'm just curious, like just from I train with some very good people, and I'm very fortunate, but I don't have anyone that I can train with every day. I'm not lucky enough to be in a place where I can train with you every day, or train with someone who can beat me every single time if I don't do everything perfectly. So, do you have any recommendation for how to train or how to practice when, like you practicing that I do against me? So it's like I'm not as good as you. So how do you find your way to improve?
At least we lucky have students, because today I can complain, I started I moved to US like a couple years ago, it's not easy to make my train, but I'm lucky I have people come and join my school, because this is what helped me to make my train. But of course it's not easy, like you said, it would be easy if you just have somebody try to crush you all the time and you just have to defend yourself and get good, one day or the other, But we're glad we had the chance to train with somebody really good once in a while, so we take that person like a base, I remember I remember every fight I did, I remember every pressure somebody did on me on my competition, I remember everyone tough and I roll. And I take this like a base to be go train with my students, So when I train with them, I imagine they can do the same thing that Braulio did to me.
Right.
And I try to make a mistake even with 10. That's the way I try to every day. Not every day your mind is open to just imagine someone it's not every day you can get some white belt and look, you look like a jackarat,
Right.
He's gonna crush me if I don't make the first grip, So but those days we have your mind set up just alright, let's focus and don't make the mistake, because we could be doing this like Roger Grace.
You never let me have any grip, because even if I can't get you someone better, someone like Roger would get you.
But of course we have that days where we're just not able to be fast, that day with the body so beat up and alright, so maybe today I'm gonna just practice the defense, I can't have a grip fight, so just practice alright, he get on my back, let me defend the choke, but that's not my first option. My first option is always develop my first prevention, my first grip, develop my first attack, my first never miss the target.
That makes perfect sense.
That's the way. It's not easy.
Right.
Easy is when you have just a coach who just run over you and tell you gotta do that, and you gotta spar partner and just tell them, all right, put in this position, put in that position, protect it.
Now you have to do the same exact thing for yourself. Honestly, I mean, like he does the moves, like obviously better than I do, and better than anyone I train with on a regular basis. But I don't think that's what I mean. There's many people who do things really well, but it's the way. It's like you said, the approach, like the prevention, and like the always doing the first step. That I don't feel like he's playing around and being nice to me, but it's like I don't feel like I'm getting into my positions almost ever. So it's really cool. Like
That's good to practice that your timing.
Yeah.
So your timing that you practice to make it work.
I feel like I've been listening to a lot. Yeah, I'm really lazy.
Yeah, I know. I can relate to sometimes.
Let me ask you guys a related question. Marcelo, when you are playing against Ryan's inverted guard, right? You don't play against that every day, right? And so, how do you approach it? I mean, I know you've played against it a lot, but you don't. So you approach it thinking about your experience in the inverted guard, or you think about it with your experience with other guards that you're translating over to?
We train so much jiu-jitsu, so so you gotta be able to have like a figure out. You never see something like that. When you see something different, your body, you gotta be able to like recognize something, even something really new. You know what I mean? If you train every day, Ryan, I believe you train hard every day, push yourself hard. That's what I heard from everybody tell me. I mean, he knows like that. We're doing just so much every day. We gotta be able to like shoot, improvise when you need. You understand? So that's how I feel. If I don't train guard 50 or invert guard every day, even if I don't have like that many students to put me in that position, if I see, I gotta understand like which way my body works, which way if I put my arm there, I'm not gonna be able to put my arm back because I don't have that flexibility, I don't have use. So you gotta understand this. But also come that thing that I told you, like one time I trained somebody good like a 50-50, I never gonna forget. You know what I mean? This thing is gonna be on my mind, and I gotta take some lessons from that thing, from that experience that I have. You know what I mean? Like yesterday, I have like Ryan got me in the triangle, and he did such like a different way to finish. I not forget that. You know what I mean? This I'm gonna take this forever. I'm gonna fight somebody. If I got stuck in a triangle, like I'm gonna think twice before just try breaking up and try get out. You understand? I know it has a new way to like a new way that I really should be one that like don't hurry. You know, like be conscious what's going on. And that's the same thing about a guy like 55th and reverse guard. I have been trained a long time, and many times I have faced people who has a good guard like that. And when I see something like important, I don't forget. You know what I mean? And I take this like to my students, like I told you all the time. And I know they don't know they got 50. I don't like my feet hanging out under people's armpit, under the armpit. You understand? Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So everything's starting to connect now.
Ryan, can I ask you a question?
Of course.
Apropos to what you were talking about, does it feel as if his techniques are extremely refined, or does it feel like he's thinking further ahead?
I think it's both, because I feel like, but at a certain level, like technical refinement, it seems to me like it is a lot more. It's a lot easier to achieve. Like, 'cause at a certain level, like if I train with Marcelo every single day, even if I never learned to think ahead, I would not, even if no one would give me any advice, my arms would start to do this, my positioning would get better, because anytime it's not perfect, I would lose immediately. So I feel like there's a lot of people with high degree of technical refinement, at least in certain areas, maybe not in almost all areas, but like the elite guys. But I feel like because of that technical refinement, and he's got it down to such a degree that he doesn't have to think about it. It's like it allows him to focus on something higher level, like thought, like thinking ahead, and like it seems like Marcelo was saying that if you allow someone to get all the way into their position, then the specific defenses you might use are different. So like if I get to start in 50-50, maybe I can do something that might work because you've never seen it before. But the idea of controlling distance and defending yourself is universal in every position, as long as you don't let it progress to the point where you're so compromised you have this many options. So I feel like because he understands jiu-jitsu so well, like he can defend any position that I throw at him because he never allows it to occur.
That's fascinating.
That's what it seems to me, at least.
That's what makes jiu-jitsu so like many different ways to do jiu-jitsu. we don't have that guy who just like learn one move and you don't want to do anything beside that. You know, what I mean? You have that people who want to learn something every day. You know, like Ryan switching his game and have something new to do and trying to learn more and more every day. You know, so I guess that way is more fun. I feel that.
Let me just ask, in terms of one precise moment where, I mean, maybe it was something that you guys both did technically and I didn't, but so when you were inverted at one point, Marcelo, you put your arm all the way through. I wonder, you know what I'm talking
From
about?
the north-south, right?
No, from the, and against the inverted guard.
But was it from the north-south choke?
No,
It was from the north-south inverted.
and the legs were in,
Yeah.
right? Is that a position that you were improvising in?
Yeah, that was one of those first moves that I learned. You know what I mean? Like
Okay.
to get there and try like open people's leg.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know what I mean? Like I'm so wonder about like if I put my arm and he put his leg at the same time,
Yeah.
I gotta put my arm back.
I was wondering if your arm was exposed or if you felt
My
comfortable.
arm was exposed, but if he didn't have his leg open,
Yeah, like you said, if you're only exposed if I'm in a position to take advantage.
yeah, you understand? So I'm waiting. Like if he start taking advantage, if he realize he's gonna take advantage of this, I gotta step back. But I can't hang out over there. That's the first move that I learned. Like that. And it's even more raw if I remember like from the beginner. In the beginner, I'm not used to mind to the guy have one foot in between. I'm just used to get this foot over here, and now I should just like stretch out, getting this leg like away, like with my legs. And that's like the first move I understand about. So I should like just like and then take the leg. Today I have a little bit more understand about this. Like today I don't want to have his leg, any of one of those legs inside because I have trained a couple people who put me in trouble. So today, when I do this with Ryan, I try to just like be like both legs, and I don't want to have any one of those legs. If I have the chance, I'm gonna just dip my arm and try to establish something like that. But because he know what's going on, if he get his leg inside, you know, my arm's gotta be ready to pull it out before it's too late. You know, if I can just do whatever he wants from me, he can use his weapon then. It's ready to be used. You know, and you know, we try to learn. You know, so that's why I'm like I put my arm there to see if there's something coming out. If I'm able to establish, you know what I mean, we gotta try everything. You know what I mean? We gotta try everything to see what we're gonna be able to use later. You know. In a moment of the competition where it's going to be crucial if you make a mistake. So, but like, you know, people's getting bad and bad, you know, those inverted guard, so you got to be more conscious, you know, about it.
Ryan, you have so much experience in inverted guard. How does that kind of approach to it feel?
Well, it's like it's not in my experience. Like there's a lot of people who attempt the same sort of thing, and that sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But again, what I feel allows Marcelo to be so successful is that he understands the right. It's like there's high percentage moves and there's lower percentage moves, right? Like you have the rear naked choke, and if you lock it on, this is a child, if they do it just right, can choke any of us. And then there's lower percentage moves in the flying arm lock. But there's the right time. If you use the right tool at the right time, it should be successful. So I feel like if I defend exactly what he's doing, some people will, if I'm able to defend, some people will pause and they'll freeze, and then I can attack and finish. Other people will get scared and pull away so hard that I can spin around and double leg them or something like that. But because of the depth of understanding and the degree of experience that he has, I feel like there's no like surprise or freak out factor, and it's like attack. The second, if it works, great. If there's some sort of proper defense by me, there's just a replacement of another tool that suits the situation that I've created for him now. So it's just like I think a degree, like you said before, technical refinement and also proper timing and proper approach that doesn't involve trying to force something on someone. It's just using what's right rather than what you just like. I want to use this right now, and that it kind of just stays out of trouble in general. Right? Does that make sense? I guess?
Absolutely.
So at least that's what it seems to me, and I can feel like, again, obviously I'm not super challenging for Marcelo to beat up, but the idea is like I feel like I do a lot better, and my game tightens up because I have to, rather than just sitting here and then just waiting for someone normal to just step forward and I can just drop into my position or sweep them or anything because they're out of position or out of base. I know that if I'm not in, I have to meet his defenses further out with mine further out, because if I let him get too close, it's already too late. Or if I let him establish a grip, it's already too late. He controls, and I try to ignore it, I lose. So it's like the game, I feel like it gets smaller, and I have to fight for the littler details much more precisely and much more aggressively to have any sort of success at all.
So when you're rolling against guys who are at a very high level, do you feel like they tend to let you get close? For example, if you're trying to enter into your 50-50, do you feel like they let you get there more easily because they're thinking, as Marcelo described, about what to do afterwards, or are they also trying to stop it?
I think high level is there's a lot of different levels to high level that people don't necessarily appreciate. For instance, like if I'm a white belt, like a good blue belt may tap me, like a blue belt with a killer triangle might tap me as many times in 5 minutes as Marcelo. Just not because they're anywhere near as good, but it's just I'm making so many mistakes that both people can capitalize very quickly, right? So as you get to higher and higher level, like I've competed against black belts since I was a blue belt and done pretty well, but there's black belts and then there's black belts and then there's best of the best of the best. And I feel like I felt a similar feel, like honestly, when I competed with Leo Vieira, like in Abu Dhabi, like it wasn't that, it's like the one time I won the hand fighting exchange, I arm dragged and I almost got his back. And then that was the best exchange I had of the entire match, and I got to try to shoot a couple triangles, and they seemed closer than they were, I think, from people looking from the outside. But the rest of it was he controlled the distance and the grip so well that I felt that if I were to try to attack out of bad position, I would immediately be scored on or submitted. So I feel that way when I train Marcelo. Like I don't like to stall. I try to come after him so that it's worthwhile for him to train with me. But if I just go like, get him, like you saw what happened every time, I was just like, all right, let's try to get him, and then guillotine, or I mean, because I don't do everything perfectly, I guess, obviously, but it's just the control, and he's focusing on things that are, I feel I'm being trapped without even realizing. It's not like armbar to triangle. That's a trap, but it's a trap that works on the guy who only has this much understanding. So I have this much understanding, and Marcelo has this much understanding, and as a result, his traps are higher and higher level, and they involve finer control and finer details that a lot of times I think from the outside looking in are hard to perceive exactly what's going on. So that's why I think it's super valuable to compete with the best and to get the opportunity to train with guys like Marcelo or Vieira, the very, very best, because they're not doing the same things the rest of us are.
And look how he's already know what he take the same memory than I have in my fights, on my mistakes, on my wins, and he has that in his mind, and not only in his mind, but he has that feeling. He felt that. So I'm sure he remember that when he rolled with people, when he rolled with his students. I'm sure he probably remember like what happened when you roll with me or Leo or somebody else. And you take lesson every day. Like I'm gonna remember the role I had with me. When I train with another people. I'm not gonna have to do the same thing he did to me. I have to remember, it's already like on the back of my mind. Don't forget that. It's important. I think it's a new thing where it's been developed. We should be aware. You understand?
Marcelo, when you fight against a fighter that's as flexible as Ryan is, he's unusually flexible, right?
Yeah.
Does that create certain kinds of challenges for you?
Of course.
Could you say something about that?
Of course, like every time you have somebody more flexible than you, like I don't have to be flexible like him to realize how far he's like involved. But I gotta think about like, all right, when I do this, my foot, I'm not gonna be able to get there. But in my mind, I gotta understand like, all right, his foot's gonna get there. You know what I mean? So I just gotta understand like where his flexibility is able to go. You understand? And like I told you, I've been training so long, so those stuff is been on my mind before. You know, like I have like great students. The ones who was training for me every day. He was so flexible. He made me think a lot about flexibility, like before to help people. And now, one more time, I train with Ryan, make even like refreshing, like what could be made, once we roll, and that's why it's important to train with like new people, train every day, put yourself in situations that you could be learning something.
Thanks so much, guys. Really appreciate it.
That was really